You, by the way.
Oh my goodness! What is going on?
Jake Paul. A name that once echoed through YouTube halls, surrounded by controversy, wild stunts, and internet fame. But over the years, this brash influencer has transformed, or so it seemed, into a self-proclaimed prizefighter. With every knockout, with every viral press conference, Jake tried to convince the world that he wasn't just playing boxer. He was a boxer. He mocked legends, taunted critics, and turned every fight into a spectacle. But in his latest pursuit of attention, he made the biggest mistake of his life, calling out Mike Tyson, the baddest man on the planet. A man forged in pain, violence, and hunger. A world champion feared not just for his fists, but for the storm of emotion behind every punch. While Jake Paul shouted into the void, posting memes, dropping diss tracks, mocking Tyson's age, and calling him washed up, Tyson said nothing. No Instagram stories. No podcast rants. Just silence, but that silence was never surrender. It was patience. A storm building slowly. While Jake danced on TikTok, Tyson was grinding in the gym, his 58-year-old frame moving with the power and precision of a predator lying in wait. And then, the silence broke with one explosive interview. Tyson not only fired back, but exposed everything. Jake's fake fights. His media manipulation. His disrespect for boxing itself. It wasn't just personal anymore. It was war. Jake Paul may have picked a fight thinking he was still in control of the narrative. But now, the man he mocked is speaking. And when Iron Mike speaks, the whole world listens.
Pretty average because Gibb was terrible as well, and it was like 2 YouTubers.
Hey, don't start this off like...
In boxing, there's trash talk, and then there's betrayal. Fighters often play mind games. They poke, they prod, they provoke. But even the toughest warriors know there are lines that must never be crossed. Family is one of them. Jake Paul ignored that rule. On a seemingly normal podcast, Jake dropped a joke. Not about Tyson's speed. Not about his age. No, he brought up Tyson's daughter. A private figure. A loved one. An innocent person pulled into a battlefield she never asked to be part of. The moment passed quickly on the show, but the aftershocks were massive. Mike Tyson, known for his explosive past, had evolved into a calm, introspective man. He had been training silently, respectfully, even while Jake threw online jabs. But when family was dragged into the mud, the old Tyson stirred. And when he finally broke his silence, the world saw the fire in his eyes once again. He didn't just clap back, he unleashed. In a gripping Instagram live that went viral in minutes, Tyson called out Jake's complete lack of honor. He accused him of being nothing more than a showman hiding behind followers and filters. He condemned the tactics, the insults, the fake persona that turned real boxing into a circus. It wasn't just about defending his daughter, it was about defending the soul of boxing. The very sport that saved Tyson's life was now being mocked by a kid who thought everything was content. Jake didn't just start a fight. He awoke a lion.
I could have fought you for free on short notice and you still... Yeah.
After Tyson's explosive response shook the internet, he wasn't done. Not even close. Because this wasn't just personal, it was professional. Tyson turned his focus from the insults to something far more dangerous, the foundation of Jake Paul's boxing career. One by one, Tyson began dissecting the path Jake had taken. Let's look at who he's fought, Tyson growled. First, Nate Robinson, a basketball player with zero boxing experience. Then Ben Askren, a wrestler who'd never been known for striking, coming off surgery, barely training. Then came Tyron Woodley, a UFC welterweight with a reputation, but also a fading chin and no boxing pedigree. These weren't fights. These were setups. Controlled environments. Perfectly calculated risks with maximum hype and minimal danger. Tyson exposed it all, not out of jealousy, but out of respect for the sport. He saw the sanctity of boxing being hijacked by viral moments, and then came the hammer, allegations of PED use. Tyson claimed insiders had approached him, whispering of Jake's team doing whatever it takes to maintain the illusion of dominance. Suddenly, Jake's size gains, recovery times, and unusual stamina were under the microscope. Fans started noticing. Old clips were rewatched. Patterns were spotted. Was Jake's rise really built on hard work, or something far darker? What had once looked like a Cinderella story began to feel like a Hollywood script. With special effects.
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you for the next 2 years.
Mike Tyson's revelations weren't just the ramblings of a legend defending his legacy. They were a call to arms. And the boxing world heard him loud and clear. Within hours, major voices in the sport began speaking up. Teddy Atlas, never afraid to call out corruption, tore into the system that allowed Jake Paul to flourish unchecked. Bernard Hopkins, a man who knows what it means to earn respect the hard way, labeled Jake's run a business model, not a boxing career. Across sports talk shows and YouTube breakdowns, the same question echoed: has Jake Paul been fooling us all? Clips of Jake's opponents suddenly looked different. People noticed the awkward footwork of his challengers, the lack of head movement, the perfect timing of the knockouts. Was it all choreographed? Was the sport being used like a backdrop for reality TV? Jake responded quickly, too quickly. A flurry of tweets. A shaky video. Accusations of jealousy, claims that Tyson was bitter. But the mask was slipping. His fans, once loyal, began to waver. Even influencers who once cheered him on started asking tough questions. Public sentiment turned like a tide, and through it all, Tyson remained calm. His mission was clear. He wasn't just attacking Jake, he was defending boxing itself.
Highest gate ever. This is a testament to hard work.
The world was ready. The most unexpected match in recent boxing history, Jake Paul vs. Mike Tyson, was becoming reality. The date was set. Training camps were intense. Hype was at a fever pitch. Millions waited to see what would happen when youth met experience, influencer met legend, and then, just like that, it all unraveled. A mid-flight health scare sent Mike Tyson to the hospital. A flare-up of ulcers, serious, painful, and potentially dangerous, forced him to pause training. The fight was postponed indefinitely. Fans were stunned, but what came next shocked them more. Jake Paul backed out. His team blamed Tyson's health. Said they wished him well. But rumors swirled. Insiders claimed Jake had been losing confidence. That Tyson's accusations and the growing backlash had shaken him. That Jake had seen a storm coming, and wanted no part of it. And then came the Mike Perry announcement. Instead of waiting for Tyson to recover, Jake suddenly pivoted to fight a completely different opponent. One with a brawler reputation, sure, but not the mystique or menace of Iron Mike. Critics pounced. Was Jake running? Was he dodging the most important test of his career? The Tyson fight had been more than a main event. It was a reckoning. And now, with Jake stepping away, that reckoning is delayed, but not denied. The world may not have seen the fight yet. But make no mistake. The war is far from over.